Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Y&R spoilers, Audra's bold move after Nate, who's the new man in her life. The young and the restless spoilers and updates tease that single again Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, could create quite a stir in Genoa City. What is this? After her breakup with Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, who will Audra pursue next, among Genoa City's single, or perhaps, not single men? Nate seems to be moving on with Victoria Newman. Y&R seems to have another romantic interest ready for Nate, who has been re-establishing his connection with Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley. While it might take a while for a Nate and Victoria reunion to unfold, they appear to be on the path to it eventually. Audra might also decide to move forward, making it intriguing to watch which new romantic avenue she explores. Which handsome guy in GC will Audra find herself attracted to in the months ahead? Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, has gotten closer to Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, recently, but a part of him will always be captivated by Audra and her distinctive allure. Audra might throw herself at Holden Novak next. If Audra eventually makes her move on Holden, it's likely he will give in and end up in bed with her. Given that Claire and Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, might be heading for a romantic separation, Claire could turn to Holden for emotional support. This situation could lead Audra to feel possessive about her former boyfriend and attempt to draw Holden back into her orbit. Conversely, Audra may decide to pursue Kyle again if she feels the need to validate herself. The boundary between love and hate is quite delicate, prompting Audra to possibly leverage Kyle's future single status to her advantage. Perhaps Audra will make the moves on Kane Ashby an exciting new pursuit territory. Of course, it's also likely that the show will match Audra with someone new and intriguing like Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, who might grow weary of waiting for Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil. What is this? In the meantime, Audra could serve as a pleasant diversion for Kane, especially since she has previously suggested that she finds him attractive, although he will probably just toy with her. Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, has been boasting about Kane's ambitions being beyond what Audra can grasp, which might lead Audra to pursue Kane and get closer to him. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, could be another match for Audra if Y&R ruins her friendship with Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope. No one would be really surprised at that. Audra always prioritizes her own interests, so Sally should definitely be cautious. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. Come back here often for the young and the restless spoilers, news, and updates. What is this? Y&R spoilers, Audra's bold move after Nate, who's the new man in her life. Audra Charles has quickly become one of the most intriguing characters in Genoa City, and fans of the young and the restless know that when it comes to Audra, she is never without a plan, a scheme, or a shocking twist. Her relationship with Nate Hastings proved to be complicated, intense, and ultimately unsustainable, and now that she's standing at a crossroads in both her personal and professional life, spoilers suggest that Audra is about to make a bold move that could change everything. But the question everyone is asking is, who's the new man in her life? If history is any indicator, Audra isn't going to stay single for long. Her ambition is always intertwined with her love life, and whenever she sets her sights on someone new, it usually means trouble for more than just herself. Let's dive into the possibilities, the drama, and the ripple effects that Audra's next romantic chapter might unleash on Genoa City. Audra's breakup with Nate left her shaken but not broken. While she may have appeared heartbroken on the surface, anyone who knows her knows that she rarely allows her emotions to hold her back from her next move. Nate had been her partner in crime as much as he was her romantic partner, and their chemistry was undeniable. But in the end, Nate's loyalties were too divided, his career ambitions clashed with Audra's, and his heart was pulled elsewhere. For Audra, that was both a betrayal and a challenge, and it's exactly the kind of fuel that pushes her to reinvent herself and strike out in new directions. So now that Nate is firmly in her rearview mirror, who could possibly capture Audra's attention next? One strong possibility is Kyle Abbott. Kyle has recently been on the outs with Summer, and his turbulent emotions have made him vulnerable to manipulation. Audra has already demonstrated that she knows how to push Kyle's buttons, and their shared history of scheming and secret connections could make a romantic reunion not only possible but almost inevitable. Kyle has been searching for someone who understands his darker impulses, someone who won't judge him for his mistakes, and Audra has always thrived in those gray areas of morality. If the two were to rekindle their connection, it wouldn't just be about passion, it would be about power, control, and a chance for both of them to climb higher in Genoa City's social and corporate ladders. Fans who remember their past hookups know the chemistry is there, and it might not take much for Audra to pull Kyle back into her orbit. But Kyle isn't the only candidate. There's also the possibility that Audra could set her sights on Adam Newman. Adam is a man who has consistently been at odds with nearly everyone in Genoa City, and his turbulent personal life makes him both dangerous and appealing to someone like Audra. While Adam has been trying to stay focused on being a better father and rebuilding his life, it's no secret that his romantic entanglements always seem to derail his progress. Pairing Adam with Audra could be explosive in all the right ways. Both are ambitious, both are misunderstood, and both are willing to bend or break the rules to get what they want. The sparks between them could light a fire that shakes not just their lives but also the Newman family dynamics. Imagine Victor watching in horror as Adam and Audra become a power couple capable of dismantling alliances and forging their own empire. Of course, another intriguing possibility lies with Tucker McCall. Audra has already proven she can manipulate Tucker, but what if she decides to turn the tables and pursue something more genuine, or at least something that looks genuine enough to fool everyone around her? Tucker has a complicated history with Ashley and Devon, and adding Audra back into his romantic sphere could create fireworks. Tucker is experienced, wealthy, and calculating, which makes him both a threat and a temptation for Audra. If she were to truly align herself with Tucker, they could become an unstoppable force, but fans know that Tucker always has his own agenda, and Audra may not be able to control him as easily as she thinks. Still, the chemistry and the drama between these two characters are undeniable, and it's the kind of matchup that could drive months of storylines. There's also the possibility of Audra branching out and targeting someone entirely unexpected. Could she make a play for Nick Newman, whose steady demeanor and complicated love life might make him an interesting challenge? Could she flirt her way into Chance Chancellor's world, testing his loyalty to Sharon? Or could she even shock everyone by getting close to? Of Audra's character is that she is unpredictable, and the writers know that pairing her with someone surprising would send shockwaves through the fandom. Audra's love life isn't just about romance, it's always about strategy. She uses her relationships to secure power, influence, and access to the people who matter most in Genoa City. That's why every potential new man in her life isn't just about attraction, it's about what the relationship can do for her in the long run. With Nate, it was about having a partner who shared her ruthless streak. With Kyle, it could be about merging Abbott resources with her ambition. With Adam, it could be about creating a Newman-level power duo. With Tucker, it could be about reclaiming her position as a key player in his schemes. No matter which direction she chooses, the outcome is bound to be messy, dramatic, and game-changing. Fans of the young and the restless know that Audra thrives in chaos, and she always lands on her feet. This bold move after Nate could be her most daring yet, and it will test not only her ability to manipulate but also her ability to genuinely connect with someone who sees past her schemes. The big question is whether Audra is capable of real love or whether she's doomed to keep using relationships as stepping stones. If she does fall for someone new, it could be the twist that finally humanizes her, or it could be the latest in a long line of power plays. Spoilers tease that Audra is about to surprise everyone, and her next relationship may not be what fans expect. Whether it's with Kyle, Adam, Tucker, or someone entirely new, one thing is certain: Audra Charles is about to shake up Genoa City once again. And when she makes her move, the ripple effects will touch everyone around her. Alliances will shift, rivalries will ignite, and the question of who Audra really is at her core will once again take center stage. Y&R spoilers, Audra might throw herself at Holden Novak next. Audra Charles is not a woman who takes rejection lightly. After her entanglement with Nate Hastings collapsed and her attempts to reassert herself in the power circles of Genoa City hit a wall, she finds herself in need of a new strategy, a new partner, and perhaps a new romance. Spoilers suggest that Audra might set her sights on someone unexpected, Holden Novak. This possibility is already sparking conversation among young and the restless fans, as Holden represents both danger and opportunity. If Audra truly does throw herself at Holden, the move could alter the balance of power across Genoa City's families and open up doors that even she hasn't dared to walk through yet. But why Holden, and why now? Holden Novak has been slowly carving a place for himself in the canvas of Genoa City. While he may not have the legacy name of a Newman or an Abbott, his growing influence and mysterious backstory have made him one to watch. He's the kind of man who walks into a room and makes people wonder what cards he's holding close to his chest. For Audra, who thrives on unpredictability and loves the thrill of aligning with someone who keeps her guessing, Holden could be exactly the challenge she craves. More importantly, he could be the ticket she needs to reinstate herself as one of the most dangerous women in town. After Nate, Audra has been floating. Tucker McCall used her, Kyle Abbott toyed with her, and her ambitions to climb the Newman ladder have been stalled at every turn. But Audra isn't someone who sulks for long. When doors close, she forces open new ones, and Holden Novak may just be that new door. Spoilers tease that Audra could approach him in her usual way, seductive, bold, and without hesitation. She has never been shy about using her charm to get what she wants, and Holden is the kind of man who might just appreciate a woman who doesn't play coy. The question is, will Holden see Audra as an ally, a lover, or a threat? Audra's attraction to Holden could stem from the fact that he is still something of an enigma. Genoa City residents are still piecing together who he really is, what his long-term goals are, and how deeply his influence might run. Unlike someone like Nate, whose moral compass wavered, or Tucker, who wears his ambitions openly, Holden keeps his intentions hidden. For Audra, that mystery is magnetic. She has always been drawn to powerful men, but even more so to those who operate in the shadows. Aligning herself with Holden would be a way to get ahead of everyone else, while the Abbotts, the Newmans, and even the McCalls try to figure him out. She could already be at his side, shaping his choices and guiding his moves. But fans know that Audra doesn't simply throw herself at anyone. If she does go after Holden, it won't be purely about lust or even companionship. It will be about strategy. What could Holden offer her that others couldn't? First, access. If Holden is as connected as spoilers hint, he could give Audra the kind of influence she has always craved. Second, protection. Audra has made more than a few enemies in Genoa City, and being tied to someone like Holden could shield her from attacks while she regroups. And third, redemption, or at least the appearance of it. By aligning herself with someone new, she can rewrite her narrative, making it seem as though she's not just a manipulative schemer but a woman who knows how to spot talent and vision in others. Of course, the potential fallout from this move is enormous. If Audra gets close to Holden, how will Tucker react? Tucker has always seen Audra as both an asset and a pawn, and the idea of her moving on to someone who could rival his influence would infuriate him. He may try to sabotage her or manipulate Holden against her. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott could also find himself caught off guard. While his relationship with Audra has been a roller coaster, he has never fully closed the door on her, and seeing her in the arms of someone like Holden might spark jealousy, or even a desire to win her back, not out of love but out of ego. And what about the Newmans? If Holden starts to rise in prominence, Victor and his family will want answers. If Audra is at Holden's side, she automatically makes herself a target. Nikki, Victoria, and Nick will be watching her every move, and Adam, who has always been suspicious of her motives, could go on the offensive. Pairing herself with Holden could put Audra directly in the Newmans' line of fire. But knowing Audra, that's exactly where she wants to be, center stage, impossible to ignore, and constantly keeping everyone guessing. The chemistry between Audra and Holden also can't be overlooked. While we haven't seen much interaction between the two yet, both characters exude an intensity that would make their pairing electric. Audra's boldness paired with Holden's quiet strength could create a dynamic where each pushes the other to be more dangerous, more daring, and more ruthless. Fans of Y&R love a power couple, and Audra with Holden could rival some of the most iconic duos in the show's history. Imagine the two of them scheming together, seducing each other, and plotting moves that leave everyone else scrambling to keep up. It's the kind of storytelling that soaps thrive on: dangerous attraction, secret agendas, and a relationship that could implode at any moment. Yet, beneath all of this, there's a deeper question. Can Audra ever truly love someone, or is every relationship just another step on her ladder to power? If she does throw herself at Holden, will it be because she genuinely feels something for him, or will it be because she sees him as the next opportunity? And on Holden's side, is he the kind of man who would fall for Audra's charms, or is he sharp enough to see through her manipulations? Their relationship, should it unfold, would not be one-sided. It would be a battle of equals, and in such battles, it's hard to tell who will come out on top. In the end, spoilers suggest that Audra's next chapter is about reinvention. After Nate, after Tucker, after Kyle, she needs to prove that she's not just a hanger-on or a secondary player. By throwing herself at Holden Novak, she could prove that she's capable of seizing new opportunities and aligning herself with someone who could elevate her to the level she has always believed she deserves. Whether it ends in triumph or disaster, one thing is certain: Audra Charles never plays it safe. If she does make this move, Genoa City should prepare for fireworks, betrayals, and a love story that might just burn hotter than anyone expects. Y&R spoilers: perhaps Audra will make the moves on Kane Ashby, an exciting new pursuit territory. Audra Charles has proven time and time again that she thrives on unpredictability. When she walks into a room, Genoa City watches closely, because they know Audra rarely wastes a move. She's strategic, bold, seductive, and unafraid to shake up existing dynamics if it means she can position herself closer to power. Over the past year, her entanglements with Nate Hastings, Tucker McCall, and Kyle Abbott have left her bruised but not beaten. Each time, Audra finds a way to reinvent herself. Now, speculation is brewing that her next bold pursuit might involve none other than Kane Ashby, a man who has been absent from the Genoa City canvas but remains deeply tied to its history. If this rumor becomes reality, it could open up an entirely new chapter not only for Audra but also for Kane, whose return would come with its own baggage, opportunities, and explosive consequences. For fans of the young and the restless, the idea of Audra targeting Kane is deliciously dramatic. Kane is a man with a complicated past, one that includes betrayal, redemption, and years of trying to prove himself both as a family man and as a businessman. He has been involved in high-profile relationships, including his rocky but passionate history with Lily Winters, and his name has often been tied to corporate intrigue at Chancellor and Jabot. Audra, on the other hand, is the newest storm in Genoa City, a woman with no hesitation in mixing business with pleasure if it serves her purpose. Put these two together, and the result could be a combustible relationship that blends ambition, temptation, and unresolved family legacies. The question that arises immediately is, why Kane? What would draw Audra to a man whose life has been a series of ups and downs, triumphs and scandals? The answer lies in Audra's psychology. She doesn't go after safe bets. She doesn't fall for stability or predictable partners. She goes after men who challenge her, who have cracks in their armor that she can exploit, and who come with ties that expand her influence. Kane Ashby fits all of those criteria. He has been underestimated before, but he is no pushover. He has made mistakes, but he is capable of reinvention. And most importantly, he is connected to the Chancellor family legacy, one of the most powerful legacies in Genoa City. For Audra, making moves on Kane would be more than just about romance, it would be about stepping into territory that has been left unexplored, and staking a claim in a corner of Genoa City's history that she has yet to touch. The reintroduction of Kane would also create major ripple effects across the canvas. Lily, who has been trying to steady her life and relationships, would be blindsided by Audra's pursuit of her ex-husband. The drama between Lily and Audra would practically write itself, as Lily's dignified, composed demeanor would clash with Audra's audacious, unapologetic approach. Fans could expect heated confrontations, cutting words, and plenty of emotional fallout as Lily struggles to come to terms with Kane being drawn back into the chaos by Audra. It could also force Devon and the Winters family into the fray, taking sides and reigniting old rivalries that have been dormant for too long. From Kane's perspective, Audra would represent both temptation and danger. He has always struggled to find his footing when it comes to romance, torn between his loyalty to family and his attraction to riskier choices. Audra would undoubtedly present herself as someone who understands his ambitions, who sees his potential, and who is willing to help him reclaim the power he once had. For a man who has often been dismissed or overshadowed by larger personalities like Victor Newman or Jack Abbott, the idea of being with a woman who not only believes in him but also schemes with him could be irresistible. Yet Kane has also been burned before, and fans would watch closely to see whether he has learned from his past mistakes, or whether he is doomed to repeat them by falling under Audra's spell. The chemistry between Audra and Kane could also be undeniable. Audra's confidence and sharp wit paired with Kane's charm and intensity could light up the screen in ways that shake the foundation of other Genoa City couples. Imagine the two of them working together in a corporate takeover, strategizing late into the night, only to have their business partnership spill over into something much more personal. It's the kind of pairing that would bring back the slow-burn seduction stories Y&R fans love, full of lingering glances, dangerous flirtations, and an underlying sense that things could explode at any moment. What makes this potential storyline even more exciting is how it would expand Audra's narrative. Until now, she has been circling around the Newmans, the Abbotts, and Tucker McCall. By moving into Kane's orbit, she would be inserting herself into Chancellor territory, an area rich with history and drama. Jill Abbott, as Kane's longtime supporter and occasional critic, would undoubtedly have strong feelings about Audra attaching herself to him. Jill has always been fiercely protective of the Chancellor legacy, and she wouldn't take kindly to Audra sniffing around Kane if she believed it was just another scheme. This could spark a fiery rivalry between Jill and Audra, with Kane caught in the middle, forced to choose between the woman who believes she can help him rise again and the mother figure who has always kept him in check. For Audra, making moves on Kane would also be a chance to prove something to herself. After being discarded by Nate and manipulated by Tucker, she would be stepping into new territory, showing Genoa City that she isn't just a pawn in other people's games. By targeting Kane, she would be seizing control of her own narrative, making a bold statement that she is still a force to be reckoned with. And in true soap opera fashion, the pursuit would not just be about romance but about power, control, and carving out a permanent place in the city's elite circles. Spoilers suggest that if Audra does pursue Kane, it won't be a slow build. She is the kind of woman who makes bold moves quickly, using her confidence to disarm her target before they even realize what's happening. Fans can imagine the scene now. Audra cornering Kane in a dimly lit room, offering him a drink, flashing him that sly smile that has undone so many men before him, and planting the seed of something bigger. For Kane, who has been searching for a new purpose, the allure of Audra's attention could be overwhelming. And once she has him hooked, there will be no turning back. The fallout could extend far beyond just Kane and Audra's relationship. If Kane allows himself to be pulled into Audra's world, it could create a domino effect. Lily might find herself questioning her past with Kane. Devon could be forced to confront the possibility of Audra wielding influence over the Chancellor Winters' business empire. Jill could step in with fierce determination to protect her family's interests. And Tucker, who has always seen Audra as his protégé, might feel betrayed and lash out in unpredictable ways. The ripple effects could touch nearly every corner of Genoa City, sparking rivalries, alliances, and perhaps even rekindling old feuds. At its core, the idea of Audra making moves on Kane Ashby is about more than just romance. It's about reclaiming power, rewriting narratives, and stepping into uncharted territory. For fans, it's a tantalizing possibility that promises drama, intrigue, and the kind of emotional fireworks that The Young and the Restless delivers best. Whether it ends in disaster, heartbreak, or the rise of a new power couple, one thing is certain: Audra Charles doesn't do anything halfway. If she sets her sights on Kane, Genoa City better prepare for an unforgettable storm.